Good evening. So we got a couple of people on here already. Jerry and Michigan Don. Oh, we had a good day today. We got a lot done. The property, that was everything was very encouraging. Hey Brandon, what's up? There we go. Okay, sorry, I just turned the furnace off. Hopefully it'll be a little less noisy now. Yeah, have you had a chance to watch today's video? Some Patreons might actually watch 2 videos today. I'm trying to adjust my tripod here real quick. If you have any questions tonight, maybe same thing as always, type them in all capitals and we'll go from there. But real quick, I'll just talk about a couple things. First of all was the property. We showed a little bit of what the property looked like on the video tonight that we posted. It's really cool. The size of the property and just the way everything's laid out there. Really looking forward to it now. So we've just got one more hurdle to overcome with stuff, and then after that, we're just right to the contract. So we got a couple things in there. If it didn't perk for septic, then we would have been able to get out of the contract, and so that's going to happen now, since we did perk for 5 bedrooms on just the one site where we're going to build. But we've got 25 acres there, and the guy really said we can probably build anywhere on that property, and it's going to get it'll perk just from what he saw. But they always have to confirm it before that. You can't get a permit and everything until he's a soil scientist. Somebody yesterday made a comment like, "Oh, they're just trying to rip you off by making you dig with a backhoe," but really they couldn't have dug that with their. They tried that little auger thing, that handheld auger, it wouldn't do it. There's so much rock out there, and it was only, what was it, $200?
Yes.
$200 to have that backhoe come out there and dig the hole. So I thought that was extremely reasonable. Matter of fact, I got the guy's card because he'll come back and do our driveway for us. He's got a different, I forgot what he called it, but it hooks to the back instead of the backhoe, and it's made for doing driveways and stuff like that. So he'll be able to grade that real nice for us. And I don't remember what the word was for it. I'm not a heavy equipment expert. But yeah, it was nice. I should have had him, like us in the video said, I should have had him come through with the house where we're going to build at, because he would have knocked down a lot of those little saplings and stuff like that. Now we'll have to go out there and take out the trees. Most of the trees we're trying to leave up there. So we're keeping the site extremely wooded. People have said, why don't you get solar instead of doing, we'll maybe put solar panels on the roof of the house. But there's still going to be a lot of trees all around there. There's a lot of large trees. There's a lot of pine trees, elms, dogwoods, persimmons, is that what that guy called the other ones? I don't know. Yeah, birch. There's just a lot of really cool trees that are on the property. It's extremely wooded. Yeah, we're up on the top of it, so we're getting very excited. I mean, we're a little over a month away from closing on it, so we still got a few things to work out on it, but it's getting there. It's gonna be nice to have room for other buses. We're gonna have some RV pads and stuff there. Patreon members will be able to come out and actually have their buses worked on there, or they can work on their own buses there, which I don't know any other place where you can really do that. If you're full-time RVing, where you got to go be able to work on your bus, a lot of campgrounds don't want you working on your bus in a campground. So we'll have a spot there where you can come work on your own bus. So for full-timers, it's going to be a really cool advantage for them to do that. Has anybody posted any questions yet? If they had, I hadn't even looked at them yet. So I just saw one about acres. It's about 25 acres. Again, if you post your question to it in all capital letters, that way it really stands out for us. We appreciate that. We will be leaving Avon. We'll be selling that house, but not until the fall when my daughter, she's getting married. She lives there currently with her fiance. And once the wedding happens, then we're going to sell the house. And I think they're going to move to Tennessee as well. So we got that done. And then the best repair ever of my generator today. If only all repairs could be that way. I mean, I just had to do a little bit of what I always do to get it running, which was procrastination. And all I did was just hit the button today and it started perfectly like nothing. So whatever was in there was wet, dried out, and it ran perfectly fine today. So I can't run it here at the campground right now because I don't have the muffler back on it. It was too cold today. It's like 30 something out there right now. It's not worth it. It's going to be warmer tomorrow. It was cold and windy today. I didn't even want to mess with putting the muffler back on. So we'll put the muffler on there. Get that permanently attached back on there. I got some of the cheap strapping stuff, like the tape, I don't know what it's called. It's like a roll of 1/2-inch metal with a bunch of holes in it, whatever that is. So that'll help get it on there, and then I got the clamp that'll go back on the tailpipe, exhaust pipe coming out of I guess it's not really a header, but whatever it is on there. That just needs to be reclamped on, and then I'll hang it a little bit better with the strapping. Yes, that's what it's called. But yeah, no, all I did was just hit the button and it started. So it was just wet, just needed to be dried out. But then I got to address that doesn't happen again. I've driven through the rain so many times with that generator and never had any issues with it. So I'm not really sure why this was more of a misty rain, but maybe just the direction the wind was blowing or something. I don't want to put a cover over it while I'm driving, because half of the fun of having that generator is that I can start it while we're driving down the road. Kelly can make me some dinner or something like that while I'm driving, so I don't have to stop. Or when we get to a location, if it's cold outside, I don't have to get out of the bus, go out there and remove a cover to be able to start the generator. That's the fun of having a button inside to start it. So we'll see about what I can put up over that. It needs to be able to breathe good air in there. It obviously doesn't need as much air as what we have. So maybe some louvers or something I'll put on the inside. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do there, but something to keep the water from that happening again. Today was a day where I really wished I'd had my Jake brakes on, and I really wished I would have had time to put the power steering on yet, because again, we drove down that road. So if you haven't seen that video, that road is phenomenal. I think you should watch the whole driving thing. There's a couple upshifts and downshifts on it, and the bus just sounds super badass going around those curvy roads and everything. So that was it was fun. I don't want to necessarily drive that road a lot. I don't know that I'm going to drive it at night. There are other roads that I can come in, and it's not going to affect, it's not like that. It's like 5 miles out of the way to go to, or maybe 7 miles out of the way. I don't remember what it was. But I think I'd rather do that, especially, if it's dark outside, because that road's, you can see it's pretty sketchy. And honestly, the video does not do it justice at all for how banked the turns are, how sharp the turn, when it's a 50 or 45 mile an hour speed limit road and they got 20 mile an hour turn signs, that's kind of crazy. And the bus, I'm always like 5 to 10 less over what it says, because you can do that in a car, but not in the bus. Stuff goes flying around and it's not worth it. So, do you have any questions ready over there, Kelly?
I'm going to go back. I was trying to keep an eye on to make sure I didn't have to kick anyone out.
Okay, yeah, Kelly's playing.
You had already answered how many acres, correct?
Yeah, and I'll hit a couple of these while you're waiting for that. I see somebody's, I'm gonna come back to Fort Myers. I was actually just talking to Sean tonight. Yeah, we'll definitely be back down in Fort Myers, but it's probably not gonna be till the end of March, beginning of April would be my guess.
Somebody's asking, what's up with the school bus we've seen?
I don't know. It's on private property. I'm not gonna go trespassing on somebody's property. So someday if I meet the neighbors over there, I'll ask them. But it looks like it's just a storage unit or something like that, or something to keep out of the weather or something. But it's not level at all, so there's no way somebody's living in it like that.
Where in Arkansas are you going to work?
Batesville area, but not quite Batesville. I think that's somewhere in that general vicinity.
How much time do you spend on the road per year versus being home in Indiana?
On the road the whole year, other than
we were home about 6.5 weeks.
Yeah, 6
total.
weeks the whole year total, but not all at once.
And 2 weeks was.
Can you grab me a couple of pillows from my back?
Yes, 2 weeks was you redoing the engine.
Yeah, I don't know. Not very much. We're almost never in Indiana. That's it's been like that for the last 3, maybe almost even 4 years since I've practically lived there. Sorry, Kelly had to grab me a pillow for my back. It's killing me today. Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. I'm not sure where we were at with the questions. That was the best travel video you have posted. That was a fun, I'd already done the drive once, well, twice, because I did it there and back yesterday. So that was the third time going down that road today. I can feel it. I could feel it this morning. I felt it yesterday when I thought I was going to pass out, and then today, yesterday's muscles were still hurting.
Okay, what year GM MCI Eagle are they too new for you to work on?
It's not necessarily the year, but it's just that it has a mechanical engine in it and not a D-deck. I don't work on any of the D-deck stuff. I will work on a bus that has a D-deck if I'm not working on the engine. So if you want, wheel bearings, wheel seals, all that kind of stuff, I'll do that for you. But I won't do the anything with the engine on it, just because I've never messed with them. I've never had to. So. What part of Tennessee? I see that question on there. We are in, well, like tonight we're in Dickson, and we're about, what, 20, 30 miles, something like that. So just give you an idea. We really wanted to buy in Bucksnort, but we didn't. We're outside of Bucksnort.
You ever thought about doing tiny home tours?
Not really sure what you mean by that. Like go tour somebody's tiny home? Is that what you're asking me? Or if I want to do a video series? I don't understand what that question is. You might want to elaborate on that a little bit more. I'm not sure what you're asking. But we do lots of tours of the buses and stuff that I work on, so.
How is Tyler's new silver sides?
It's still sitting where it's going to be sitting until we get back there in March to get it. So nothing's going to be done to it. It's going to be sitting there.
Ever wanted to go to Lubbock, Texas? We've been there before.
We've been there. We're not going to be there on this trip, though.
How many miles do you have on your bus?
Millions. We don't have any way of accurately knowing what it is, but typically a retired Greyhound bus that's been around this long, and then it's had a full service life at another kind of a second tier. Tyler's on here now, like a second tier service provider. Then he would easily have a couple million miles on him. Joe thought by the look of the governor on it that it probably had like 4 million miles on it, but I think that's kind of a high number. But he's got more than 2 million miles. I'm fairly confident of that.
What happened to that girl Marie and her school bus rebuild you introduced about 8 months ago?
Just talking to her dad tonight. She is actually, her bus is retrofitted and remodeled on the interior. She's actually living in it now. I'm not really sure why she hasn't posted any video. I think she has shot some video of it. Hopefully you guys will get to see it. If not, when I come down there in the spring, maybe I'll get a chance to shoot some video of it. But yeah, hopefully she'd post that video and you guys could see her bus, because she's got it. I've seen some pictures of it on Facebook and stuff, and it looks really nice.
How much horsepower can you get out of the 12V71 without sacrificing reliability?
I don't know. You'd have to look at the book. I don't know what it is. Probably, well, I would say like 550 to 600 probably would be, if you're not worried about, but you can really kick it up from there. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful engine. Yeah, well, 900 horsepower for a Marine, you're not going to get a lot of life out of that. But yeah, I don't know what the minimum, if you're putting like N60s or something like that, if you're really looking for longevity on it, N65s would be the standard one. Yeah, I had to look at the book. I don't know what that is.
Have you ever met a Greyhound driver that drove Lenny on a route?
No.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. We know his vintage fleet number with Greyhound and all that kind of stuff. So I have no idea what. Most of those guys are probably not around anyways. I think we'd have more luck finding somebody who rode in the bus or something like that. And that's, the fact that he used to travel so much, and it was fun driving him yesterday on Highway 41, or was that yesterday? Day before?
Yes.
I don't remember. Yeah, it was yesterday. Highway 41, which is a road that he used to travel frequently. I think about how many thousands of times he would go up Highway 41, going from basically Miami to Chicago on 41. That would have been the only main road in the 40s that did that. So he put a lot of miles on that road.
Do you have any close neighbors at the new property?
Um,
Mm,
I don't know what you mean by close.
not really.
Close enough to hear me coming home.
Well, right next to us. We
Across
can't.
the street, I don't think anybody lives on that property there. And then there's,
Right next to us, though, we can't even see a house over there.
yeah, we can't see homes, but I know there are people back there.
Yeah. So even without all the leaves on the trees, we can't see anything. Hi, Scott and Kelly. Love the new place. When will you find out about the power?
When we find out about the power, we're going to meet with the engineer from the power company out there on Monday morning and go over everything, like where the power is coming from, where we're running it to, and then we're going to get some price estimates. And I'm actually really afraid for this number to come in. So we'll see what it's going to be.
Super chat just popped up.
Fred Stevens, Super Chat, Bucksnort P.O. Box Fund. I would drive to Bucksmort just to have a P.O. box there. That's awesome.
Ever coming to Clarksville, Tennessee?
Did we just go through there yesterday?
Yep.
Is that where the Army base is that we
yeah,
went there?
We just went through there.
Yeah, we just drove through there yesterday.
Are you going to give Lenny a hand wax job soon?
The sad thing is I actually gave him a hand wax job the day we left, or the day before we left Indianapolis, and then it rained the whole entire time. So he does not look like he just got a rub down.
What made you choose this property? It's a big change from a subdivision to rural Tennessee.
Well, we don't belong in a subdivision. That's for one. Not, you know, when we built there 20 years ago, we didn't have buses or anything like that. But now that we have the bus, which I'm not there very much, so I'm paying for a home that I'm not using. So I want to have a property that I can have buses, and I've had to pass up a lot of other good deals on buses or opportunities to work on buses and maybe store some parts and stuff like that. So, but we got to be careful because we do have the KHOA at the new place, which is the Kelly HOA. So
it can't look like a junkyard.
It can't look like a junkyard. So hopefully I'll have a couple of containers out there that are kind of hidden around the corner. Yeah, it's, I mean, we already know, I mean, I'm going to want a bulldozer and some other stuff like that. So I'm going to be looking for some Detroit diesel powered stuff that, they'll make fun videos to work on them, get something running and bring it back to life, and then actually use it out there. And as you can see how much property we have, there's a lot that we can do. It's, I don't know what else. I mean, Tyler started naming off like 50 things. I mean, I'd like to get a semi-truck and a Landau so I can haul some buses around and maybe bring them back to the property. I think the goal would be to spend about half as much time on the road, but we're still going to stay on the road, and especially keeping up with the bus rescues, bringing old buses back to life. That's where my real passion's at. Not so much finding things that other mechanics screwed up and stuff like that.
Did Lance the loan bus do the mortgage on your new property?
No. We would have. We didn't get a mortgage. It's just property. Property's really cheap in Tennessee. You have no idea how cheap it is. So,
if we need a loan, that's who we go through, though.
Yeah, I would go through him if I needed a loan. But yeah, I don't. Who knows? Maybe we'll have to get a loan for the electric. For the electric.
We might.
We're gonna have a lot of extension cords running really far.
No, if you need power, you just need to go park over where the pole's at.
Yeah.
What are the estimated values of some of the buses you have worked on recently?
$15,000 to $20,000. Most of them are in that kind of ballpark area, I would assume.
Sorry, just shot ahead. I think it said when do you think you're going to be in Texas?
In less than a week. Probably by like Wednesday or Thursday, we should be in Texas.
Yeah, that's what it was. Someone's hoping to come help.
I think we're starting down in the Houston area. Is that where we're starting? Is down that way?
I don't have my phone right by me, but I believe we'll be a little bit north of Houston.
But still down that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just on the north side, I think. I love your videos. I have a 95 Tiffin with a mechanical 5.9 Cummins diesel. Do you have an opinion of that engine?
I know nothing about that. Tyler knows. Get a hold of Indiana Diesel. He'll tell you about it. Hey, Jeffrey, what's up? Jeffrey's the guy we built that Yanmar. We built it, we put it back together, and got it running.
What happened to Benny the bus?
Benny, I traded him for that Volkswagen thing, and then he ended up being in another commercial for an almond company, and then I'm not sure what else happened to him, and then the marketing company that owned him sold him, but he's been stripped. He got sandblasted or soda blasted, so he looks nothing like what he used to look like, but I think he's probably living in the Chicago area would be my guess.
Which makes us very sad.
I am sad. When he got soda blasted, I was very sad.
Do you have a trip planned to the Pacific Northwest this year?
I don't know. It is not on the schedule right now, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. But because of so much stuff that's going on this year, we've not committed to anything that way yet.
How hard is it going to be to get in there to work on the site?
Really easy. I mean, hell, I had my bus in there yesterday. I just didn't take him up the hill yet, but yeah, it's...
But we're going to have them grade that right away.
Yeah, once they grade that a little bit better, it would have been fine. It's just it's had some washouts on it and stuff, and I don't know how. I think it's been sitting 3 or 4 years, probably abandoned, kind of. So yeah, it's...
I think they said that property was inherited 4 years ago and nothing's been done.
Yeah.
So.
We'll have city water available there. I'm assuming that's not going to cost a lot of money to run some PEX underground, trench it up somewhere.
What's available for internet service? Hope you're not stuck with Hughes Network. We haven't even looked.
We haven't, but there is cable TV and telephone and cable lines run along the property, so I assume that we'll be able to get a cable modem or something. If not, we have really good our cell phone service out there. We got like full bars of
we could
LTE
stream from our phones.
Yeah.
Do you ever use seafoam in your diesel fuel to clean your injectors?
No. I just use the like power service, I think is what it's called, like whatever that gray bottle stuff is.
Are you going to be the builder of your house?
We're probably going to have like some Amish guys build it or something. I'm not really sure. We're looking more of a pole barn with a residence attached to it, something like that. But we don't really know at this point. We might build a separate structure where we do the pole barn, big workshop where we can get like 3 buses in there. Maybe have some lifts and stuff like that too. That would kind of be the dream setup. But that's going to, we'll at least get it built and then go from there, and we can add stuff later on.
I don't know that we have time to build it ourselves.
Yeah,
I
won't have time. I actually built my first home though. I was the general contractor, and I hired one carpenter to help me frame it. It's like we subbed out the excavation and the concrete work, and then from there, me and one guy framed the whole house. Everything on the inside except for drywall, I did electrical, plumbing, finishes, everything. But I subbed out the drywall, and I did the roofing, everything.
What are you going to do about water?
It's got city water.
Tyler says he's building his. He's got time to build it.
Yeah, he's got time to build it.
Someone's asking, how close to Centerville are you?
Right
now we're about 20 minutes from Centerville.
Yeah, we're about 20 minutes from there.
Close.
What the heck was that super chat? Cast iron dude, $100 starter fund for your property, and for hopes that you'll come visit me when you're in Texas. We're about 1 hour south of Austin, off of I-10. Do we take I-10? We're gonna be going from. Hey, thanks for that super chat. That's awesome. We're gonna be coming from Houston to Dallas area. So I think, is that 10 that we come up? And I think we go through Austin, right? So are we coming by you then? Let me know.
I have to look at the map to see where we'll be going, but yeah, if we're,
I'm pretty sure that I-10 is the road that goes south of Dallas down to, I don't remember. Texas is so damn big. I've been through it so many times, I can't remember the road.
Tyler's asking if he can have his fainting goats.
Tyler wants fainting goats out there. I don't think so, dude.
I would like the fainting goats, but I wouldn't like
They're
the
gonna-
Tyler would just, he would scare the crap out of them all day.
That's all he would do was make them faint. And I don't,
He
yeah.
would terrorize them. They're cute though. If you can have junkyard crap, we can have fainting goats.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. How are we with animals right now? No. Then we go on the road. Who's gonna take care of them? That's no animals, please. We'll have enough. We'll have deer on the property. That's good enough. Which we know we do. I saw a tree stand out there on the property today. I hadn't noticed that ever before.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to it.
Yeah, I didn't want to show you. I should have.
I would have tore it down. That'll be the first thing that comes down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know.
If it's on our property, it's coming down.
I don't have a problem with deer hunters. Even though we're vegans, I think the deer population needs to be controlled, and they were.
There will be no hunting on our property.
That's fine, but
I'd
rather have a hunter eat them than me hit them with my car or my bus.
Sorry, I'm looking for the next question here.
There's a whole tour. There's a couple different tour videos of Lenny, where you can see inside. Somebody just asked.
Someone's asking about what the all caps are for. Yeah, all caps for any questions.
Yes.
Will you build the workshop first or the bus pads?
Probably bus pads first. That way we'll have power and place to park.
We'll probably pour the foundation for the workshop and everything all at the same time.
Yeah.
Will there be a Bus Fest 2024 in the area?
Maybe somewhere. Yeah, maybe we'll do like I mean, we've done them before. We've talked about it. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, and I'd really like to see about bringing Arcadia Bus Rally back together with the guys and bringing that back, because we always used to go down there every. Although I hated the fact that it was over New Year's, but maybe another rally down at Arcadia, that would be fun too, in Florida.
Are you guys selling your house now?
Not yet.
How many feet or miles from the nearest power?
We're gonna find out all that Monday. It's not even worth it for me guessing. We know that the one road on it, we border two different roads, and the first road, which we are very far from,
Definitely has power.
well, our property goes there, but where we're building the house is very far from it. It definitely has power. But I think the other road might have underground power.
Because the neighbor has to get it somehow, and they're past.
Yeah, the neighbor's got it. The next one house down. We'll find out. It's not worth me even. Monday morning we'll have the appointment with the guy, and we'll find answers to all of those questions. Right now I'm just guessing.
Any cost benefits with underground versus overhead power lines?
No, but I would much prefer to have them underground if that's a possibility.
Yeah, so would I.
But the engineer is going to tell us all that stuff. I don't know anything about it.
Does overnight parking come with Kelly's cooking? Maybe.
Sometimes. Which we just posted a cooking video of Kelly tonight on our Patreon page. So she made it's like stuffed cabbage, but it's like a sloppy version of it. We don't actually stuff the cabbage, but all the ingredients are in there the same. And all vegan. And it was some good stuff. It's delicious. I don't think I could post it on my regular channel, though, because too many people would like flip out, I think. That it just, they're here to watch.
Yeah.
Buses get worked on and they watch Kelly cook food, but maybe I'll post it on our community tab to share it on there for people who are interested in that, just to see how she cooks and makes a meal on the bus, and a delicious meal on top of it.
Is there a Hot Rod Lenny t-shirt in the future?
I think maybe there could be. Oh, I knew that Bucksnort didn't have a post office, by the way. I see somebody just said that Wiki says there's no no post office in Bucksnort. And when I looked online, I saw that. I forgot.
Answered some of these here.
I think the cooking videos would be cool for people who live on a bus like us or travel a lot to understand what you can and can't do, or well, there's really nothing she can't do. Yeah, I just know if I post it, if I just make it live on my regular channel, a bunch of ignorant people will, I'm here to work at mechanical videos. I don't want to watch a cooking video. I can see it already.
How much area do you have to clear?
Not a lot. Not a lot. I mean, the driveway is already in. I mean, and that thing's
Yeah, that just needs
crap.
to be.
It feels like it's a half mile long. I don't know how long it is. And that only goes to the first. Property's really long.
So yeah, which is where the.
So just where we're gonna build the barn, maybe 10 trees, 10 large trees.
Yeah, most of that is littler in that area.
Yeah, I don't think it's more than that. So we're not taking out a whole lot of trees, and there's already some paths that are back in there for where machinery and stuff has come through in the past. So we're good. Have we all named the property yet? No, we have not.
No, I don't want to get my hopes up that much.
Yeah, let's wait until we close.
Someone's asking about a plasma cutter. They're saying just kidding, but
Watch it. She don't have patience.
Someone's asking what soda blasting is.
Oh, I think I saw somebody already answer that. Same thing as sandblasting, but it's a less abrasive material. It's like baking soda or something like that they use, and it's not as hard. So it's a lot better for aluminum. And actually, I don't think it was soda blasted. I think they used actually walnut shells or something. I can't remember. It's been a while since I did it. Since I was there when they did it, and it made a mess. It was everywhere, and they did it outside the parking lot, and that shit was everywhere. But I think it was walnut shells is what they used.
Someone's saying Houston to Dallas, that Austin would be a detour.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to end up.
Maybe that's when we went to San Antonio.
We're going to be southwest of Houston too, almost to San Antonio. I think for your last.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to be closer to San Antonio before we go up to Dallas area, Fort Worth, whatever.
Did you get the generator fixed?
If you have not watched tonight's video, yeah, I fixed it the easy way. I just waited and it dried out, and I hit the button and it started right up and ran perfectly. So whatever it was got wet, and we got to address that.
What is the timeline to start building?
I don't know. Hopefully before this summer we'll have the RV pads in. I think, is that what we're looking?
Well, I guess
let's find out how much this electrical is going to cost.
On the electric.
Because I'm seriously afraid it's going to cost like $50,000 to have the electrical run in there. I'm very. Don't even make my mind go there. Let's wait till Monday.
Yeah, electric's going to be the big thing.
More answers coming soon. Stay tuned. Yeah, are you looking for questions, Kelly?
Yeah, well, yeah.
It just doesn't seem the same without Tyler there.
You've already answered some of these, so. But I see someone in here with several comments that I might just kick them
out. The new property that we're buying, it's zoned residential. It's never had a home built on it though. But I think the previous owner used to store some excavating equipment and stuff like that out there, and it looked like he was working on it to get it ready. He's got that driveway and hill and all that, and I think at some point he had a plan of actually doing that. And I think they might have sold some of the fill out of there and stuff like that too.
You ready for the next question?
Yes.
Any plans for a walk-in pit for shop to work under buses? Yes.
probably going to put a pit in, at least a half length pit or something like that. I don't know if I want to do a walk-in though. I've worked out of pits that are that tall, and I don't know. We'll see what I do. I have no idea.
Is it cheaper to run Lenny's heat off the furnace or the diesel heater?
Well, at an RV park where we're at right now, it's cheaper to run electric heat, which we have like a Dyson electric heat, which does pretty good. It's in the 30s tonight though, so it's cold. But the diesel heater, I believe, is cheaper to operate than the propane, because the diesel heater is so much more efficient. It uses that 3-gallon thing lasted me like 5 days, and I could never go 5 days on a 20-pound propane tank. So I do believe the diesel is, but it's not as many BTUs. But when it's just in the bedroom at night, it's great.
How hard is it to find Silverside's era parts other than engine parts?
There's nothing that's impossible. It's all available. If not, it can be made. But there's enough parts buses that had to get sacrificed to make parts, and Gene Russell has got a dozen of them or more, and there's some other sources like that too. So there's nothing that's impossible. I would really love to have a parts bus myself, but we'll see.
Do you ever come to Alabama?
Yes, I've had several customers that I work for in Alabama.
Will you be putting up a building for Lenny?
I think we just scheduled the Alabama one, didn't we? From when we head down to Florida, we're going to do one.
Yeah, I've got one on the list.
Yep. Yeah, somebody we just talked to last night. Or maybe day before. It's all running together. What was the question?
If we'll be building a building for Lenny.
Yes. Yeah, that's part of my bus barn. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll do two separate ones at some point. So one where where Lenny can go, and then we'll have, maybe that'll be at our residence, and then a separate barn maybe over on the other side to work on clients' buses or something. We'll see. We got other things to work out right now. So.
And so much property, we can do whatever we want, really.
Yeah, give her little home that she wants without seeing any of the guy stuff and she needs to be able to come up the drive without seeing the.
I'll be happy as long as I don't see crap everywhere when I pull in. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Which I did see yesterday on Facebook, a camouflaged, I think it was a front end loader or something like that. And it was totally what was it?
I would still be able to see it.
It was a bulldozer. It was camouflaged. I'm like, we could buy that, Tyler. Mom wouldn't see it.
I could still see it.
I'll paint everything camouflaged.
Someone's asking what is the name of her channel. I'm not sure who they're referring to.
They're talking about you, or Mally, maybe?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I don't know who her is. Sorry. It would be really cool if somebody decided about making I'd consider that. I like that Art Deco styling of the vintage Greyhound service stations, or the depots. That would be really cool look to have to something, but that's not really the look that I think we're going for. But maybe if I had a separate barn, that would be kind of cool to do.
Do you know anything about the big dog on the property video?
Our realtor brought her dog out with her. Is that what they're talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, it was a Unimog. That's what it was that was camouflaged. I knew it was something that I had no use for, but would love to have.
Think about fire break for your buildings of 100 feet. I think we're going to have...
Oh, we don't want to have 100 feet of no trees.
No.
I think that's what they're talking about. Yeah, that would be crazy. It's okay. We'll have insurance. We can get rid of some of the underbrush and stuff like that out of there.
We're going to clear a lot.
Yeah, but the big trees are staying.
Oh, sorry, it just threw me way ahead to the end again. New P.O. box soon? Yes.
Yeah, we're actually going to get a P.O. box. We were going to go today, but we just didn't have time. So Monday, we're going to go to one of the other towns close by that has a post office and get a PO box, just so we can start getting everything set up, and we're getting our
Okay.
Tennessee mail and stuff. Go ahead.
Someone's asking if I drive the bus from time to time. No.
Oh, she drove it a couple feet here and there. That's it. Just
Was,
pulling it up on ramps or something.
was there an original power steering option for your bus?
No, nope, not even. I wonder what year power steering came out. But there was no option. No Silversides had it. It can be added, but you can't modify it. You have to severely modify it. No other buses systems can just come off and go on.
Is Tyler going to live on the property when everything's built?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a spot there where he can do whatever. Maybe I shouldn't say do whatever, where he can live. He'll have to sign paperwork for the KHOA. So yeah, I was happy that the generator got going, that I didn't have to spend any time thinking. I would have been, tearing it apart thinking I fixed it or something. But yeah, I just waited for it to dry out and started just fine today.
Is the 8.3 Cummins 300 turbo a good engine?
Oh God, please don't ask me any questions about Cummins. I know nothing. Detroit Diesel Mechanicals, that's great. Anything else? Maybe the occasional Yanmar you could mention a little bit, but that's all I know.
How far are you from Lance? 45 minutes?
About 45 minutes from Lance, yeah. Depending on the time of day.
Yeah.
Because it could take 45 minutes to get a half a block by where Lance lives. Nashville has horrid traffic, but we're west of Nashville.
Will Tyler be mowing the fields?
There's no fields to mow. So mowing the driveway is all we're gonna need. But I think if we get it paved, I'd like to get it paved, but also that's another thing. It's probably gonna come. Kelly wants it, but I think it's gonna be a while down the road because, I mean, it's gonna be like putting in a highway.
Someone wants to know why they don't see you using a trouble light that goes on your head. They work great.
Yeah, I don't usually work in dark, and then I just usually have a magnetic flashlight that works just fine for me.
Did you get the jakes on Lenny yet?
No, not all the parts have come in yet. My valve cover hadn't even shown up yet, and that was shipped like 3 days before we got home. So I sent a message to find out if they got a tracking number for it or something, because it really should have been there, but it's not. So we got more parts, and it's gonna be another couple months by the time we get home.
Why don't you add power steering to Lenny?
We're going to. We were going to do it when we went to Jeans, if we had time to go to Jeans when we were in North Carolina. So maybe the next time we're in North Carolina, we'll have a chance to stop and put the power steering on. Jean's got a whole system that he's divided, a template that he's made, and parts from like a FL 700, is that the number? I don't know what it is, a Freightliner truck, and you can use the gearbox from one thing and a pump from another, and he's got it down. He was going to help me do it. I haven't had time to get to North Carolina to do it.
I noticed the trees look fairly straight on your property. Has it been harvested for wood and replanted in the past?
Not that I can see. There's no stumps. I saw 0 stumps out there. And the only thing I've seen is a few trees that have fallen. There are some ash trees on the property, which I'm a little concerned about those. With the emerald ash borer and stuff like that, but other than that, everything looks really healthy out there. Just a couple of dead trees here and there, and yeah, a lot of everything looks good.
Can you locate glass for Silversides?
Who was asking that?
Imagination Apparel?
That is. So the slider windows, you can just replace those with regular glass. We've done that a bunch of times. The dual pane ones, I've just been able to swap them out, which I replaced all of mine last year, and I had no cracked or broken glass except for one window in the back that has a little bullet hole through it. And then we hit a huge pothole in Kentucky it was like I don't remember how long. It was right after I changed the windows. We hit a huge pothole, and the pothole flexed the bus body enough that it cracked one of the new windows that I put in there. But they're the non-sliders are dual pane. They're really thick. They're not like a standard safety glass. If you're thinking it's like a double pane safety glass, but this is like 2 layers of that thick, with a, we'll say a vacuum, but it's not really a vacuum. But they just had a seal in between them. And I don't know where that can get duplicated at, but there are buses out there where you can find those windows still, parts buses, and get them. But they are starting to get scarcer and scarcer.
Someone says I sound very mean.
Kelly's not mean at all. She doesn't want the yard looking like shit.
Just shot me to end again.
So,
So if you see any, I gotta go back up.
all right. Did you buy a hill? We bought a couple hills. I'm gonna say we bought a small mountain. It's only 25 acres, but it sure seems like a lot out there.
Someone says that I need fainting goats to keep me busy so I won't see the men cave stuff. I'm trying to make through all just regular comments.
Hopefully there's no snakes. I'm sure there's no snakes on that property. There's
No spiders for you either.
no such thing. Yeah, they won't be there.
Need a V671 for anything?
I don't. Not right now. I don't. But after I buy some of my equipment, I'd like to have Detroit powered everything out there. Some seriously vintage, a bulldozer and a backhoe or whatever, and who knows what else. But that'll be fun.
Are you going to let people help at the new place?
Somewhat. We'll see what's going to happen. Definitely. I mean, we're doing a lot more with our Patreon stuff. So if you've ever thought about joining Patreon, it starts at like $2 a month. You get a lot more information. You get some behind the scenes videos. You get to see some stuff that you don't get to see here on YouTube, like live chats with Kelly and me and other stuff like that. So, but we're not going to publish the address openly like we have with where our house is. So we'll have the P.O. box where people can send us something if they need to send it to us. Other than that, a limited number of people will, obviously the information is going to get out there, but for the most part, it's not going to be open to the public. It'll all be done kind of on the private side.
What size shed are you putting
up? We don't have dimensions yet exactly, but it's going to hold 3 buses with, probably 15 feet between them.
Yeah, we want plenty of room.
It'll be pretty big. But I that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll do one that's a little bit smaller for the bus and the house, and then another one that's just wide enough for 2 buses. I think it's gonna be cheaper probably to do 2. We'll see. $40's too short, by the way, so it'll probably be like 60, 65, 70.
Keep going. Do you like the GMC Buffalo?
I do. I mean, it's a GM bus. I like GM buses. They're pretty sturdy. They're big. Lots of headroom and huge storage base. So, what could go wrong there? Aesthetically, I don't, they're probably my least favorite GM bus. With like silver sides, Cena Cruiser. There's just, 4104, that more retro, they started to get a little bit more modern looking with the Buffaloes. I definitely don't like a Buffalo when they put a cap on it. I think that looks terrible. But that's just my own personal opinion. But they're nice buses.
Where's Phil?
Phil's probably at home making some crazy video. If you don't subscribe to Old Busman Phil, he's definitely entertaining. He showed us how to use a phone book the other day in a video.
Who were the people with the dog at the last video?
That was our realtor that was there with the dog. He was trying to dig in the hole with her. And then the other people were the soil scientist guys that were there.
Just threw me to the end again.
Somebody said hi from Destin, Florida. We've been in Destin a whole bunch of times. We had the bus parked in Destin the last couple of years for about a week each time.
Why don't you get a hat cam for videoing?
Because right now it's just easy doing what I'm doing. Maybe in the future we'll do some other stuff, but everything I do takes a lot of time, and I'm trying to keep the amount of time spent to a minimum.
Are there any major differences between pre-war and post-war silver sites?
Age? No, not. I mean, yes and no. They're pretty close to the same. They're a little bit shorter. The rear end is different than at least after the post-war. Like the first 500 of them, they used some different things that they changed around that are similar on the pre-war. Like the wheel axle seals and stuff like that are totally different on the pre-war. But I mean, there's definitely some differences, but it's not like it's really hard if you see them parked somewhere to say, oh, that's a pre-war. You gotta be really smart to figure that out by looking at it. Like that front, like on my bus, there's a little driver vent, a little vent about that big that opens up that lets fresh air come right into your crotch, basically on the ground there. The pre-war does not have that, and there's a few other things too. The license plate thing is a little bit different, and the front plate. Good.
Does this mean you'll be giving up the road?
No, not giving it up. Just gonna do a little bit less.
Someone's asking if I will have a vegetable garden. Yes.
Hopefully.
If we're home enough, then yes. I want a greenhouse.
Then you're gonna want a hunter to come out there and take care of them deer too if you have a vegetable garden.
I want a greenhouse.
I understand.
Keep them out. We're talking about hunters.
Sorry.
Or you're going to feed yourself.
Hello from England. What time is it in England? They're what?
7 hours difference,
Yeah.
I think. From where we're at now.
Man, that was my favorite place to take a vacation. One of my favorite places to take a vacation. I love the fact that you almost speak the same language. That was my favorite part about it. But just the history there and every place we went, that was a fun vacation. Or holiday, should I say? It was a fun holiday.
Just threw me ahead again. Okay, so if you see anything pop up.
How many pads am I going to have? Maybe 3 right now. We'll see for RV pads. So I don't know that we're going to have full hookups on them, but we'll have power and let you guys deal with your own crap. I don't want necessarily anybody just dumping anything into our septic if I don't know what chemicals they're using and stuff like that. I'm a little nervous about that. So, but we'll definitely have power poles and concrete pads so we can work on the bus with jacking it up safely and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll post that cooking video on the community tab. That way it's still a private link, but and then anybody wants to watch it, they can.
Someone is saying that some areas require home built first before outbuildings. They told us we could do what we want.
Oh yeah, no, we can. Yeah, the building inspector guy was like your best friend from high school kind of dude. He was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, oh, no problem. Yeah, we let you do that. It was just like, I've never experienced that before. And he was just super down to earth. And, I said, we want to build like a pole barn and then have a residence attached to it on the back. He said, perfectly fine. You just got to make sure you have the firewall between it, which I know that, we've had, anytime you have like we have a attached garage at our other home. So that obviously the garage has the firewall, double rated drywall crap or whatever. So double layer of the fire rated drywall. It's thicker than regular. I don't remember what it is, 5/8 or something like that, whatever. But yeah, so he was really cool about all that kind of stuff.
Has anyone found that stolen bus in New Mexico yet?
I don't think so. I haven't gone back and checked that post, but I assume if somebody would have found it, they would definitely try to get a hold of me other than just replying to a post.
Have you seen the wireless lifts for trucks and buses? You can roll them anywhere.
When I get some, for sure, I check them out every year at BusCon. They're awesome, but they're a little bit out of the budget right now, so that will be down the road. We can do that.
Do you have a spot to put in a tree house?
Hadn't even thought of it,
That's a pretty good idea.
but yeah, there's definitely some very large trees out there.
Are you going to stick build or bring in a pre-manufactured house?
Probably stick
It-
build.
A house itself?
Oh, yeah.
No. We will not bring in anything manufactured. We definitely stick build.
Although we had considered at one point building a container home of a couple containers, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's out of the realm of possibilities, but I think we're probably going to go a different direction.
Are you going to build a shop and do more work at home?
Yes. Yeah, but still be on the road about half as much. I just saw somebody posted about 30 amp or 50 amp. Most RV hookups are 50 amp now. But my bus runs off, we can run off 30 amp just fine. So, but yeah, every other bus, people are power hogs now for everything. So, and I know some of the big buses, they need double 50 amp service because they got so many air conditioners and all that kind of stuff. So they're requiring two 50 amp poles. So.
How long did GM do the two-stroke engine?
For 50 years, probably. I don't know. Well, they're still doing it, so more than that. It's not GM anymore, but it is still available. Yeah, it's been around a long time. It's just not necessarily available here in this country.
Someone's asking me if I'm really that camera shy.
Yeah, let's not get into that right now. She's not camera shy.
I'm jackass pissed is what I am.
She doesn't have time for jackasses. Yes. All right, where are we at?
Reservation plan for working on your own bus on site?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be a member of Patreon, and then we'll kind of give that information as it comes out on there. We didn't, we don't want to commit to anything until everything is completely finalized with the property. But yeah, the Patreon members will be able to come out and work on their buses there and have access to our tools. You'll have some fees attached to it. It's not just for free, but like 1 hour labor, I think is what we're looking at a day. That will go towards some help and being able to use the tools and stuff like that. And we could do engine rebuilds and all that kind of stuff where you can do 90% of the work yourself and just have me there to help you guide you through the complicated stuff. So, but we'll have to schedule that all around when we're going to be in Tennessee and everything too. So,
Someone's asking about how about a log home?
not really into log homes. We're more into modern, yeah, like
a lot of glass.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Cameron's dad's garage. That kind of, that's what I want.
Me too.
Yeah, we'll find out about our power requirements out there with what's available with the power company. But if we can get some, I don't remember what, I'd love to get a mill and stuff like that out there too, and a lot of that stuff. We got to see what's available. I haven't. We'll find out. I don't want to get too far ahead on that. And I definitely need power steering on my bus. You have no idea what it's like to get wiped out just trying to make a turn somewhere, especially if you got to turn around in a parking lot and you got to make it like a 3 or 4 point turn. Oh my gosh, you're friggin' dead before you even get out of the parking lot.
What is the next bus?
That I'm working on?
I'm assuming. I'm not sure what it.
I don't know. Unfortunately, I've not even looked that far ahead. I know what town I'm going to. I'm thinking it's an MCI, but no, it's a 4104. It's 4104. It's the next bus.
What countries can you get two strokes in still?
Well, they still make them, like NATO still gets them for a lot of their vehicles and stuff too. Um, yeah, I have no idea. Probably just government stuff. They're allowed to circumvent the rules.
I'm trying to find the next question. There's a lot of comments.
Sorry. Yeah, if you post your questions in all caps, don't post your comments in all caps. That kind of wastes our time while we're trying to look through and find them. If it's just a comment, don't do just comments in all
I
caps.
think I'm caught up now.
So I see one here. It's not capitals, but somebody said 1957 Greyhound conversion, older, the value of it. So 57 would probably be like a 4104. An older conversion. If it's running and driving, minimum 5, but probably closer to 10, depending on how long it's been, if it's currently on the road or roadworthy. But if it's not really drivable and tires, yeah, you could be looking at more.
Are you doing solar?
Yeah, we're probably gonna put solar on the house, but it's not gonna be our main power supply. We're gonna have too many power requirements out there for that. Of course, I say that now until I meet with the power company guy, because if that number comes in at 50 grand, we very well may be solar, but it's very wooded up there. So, but the barn's gonna be big. We'll have a lot of roof area to put solar panels on the barn. So I'd rather throw that money into solar if it is like a $50,000 number, but we'll see. Maybe it's only 10 grand to run power. I obviously I'm losing sleep over the not knowing what the cost is going to be. So I'll have an answer in a couple days.
I'd like a huge wind turbine on the property, please.
We got room to put wind turbines, and we're up on top of that hill. It's pretty windy up there. I wouldn't mind putting a couple of them up there.
Are you going to have a Detroit diesel 2-stroke generator?
I can pretty much guarantee you at some point I will, because now that I have a place to store one, I've passed on purchasing a whole bunch of them in the past because I had no place to put it, nothing to do with it. But I definitely could have one out there and have my own backup power station, and that'd be awesome. Especially like that cool one that Dan has that we saw this summer, where it's powered by 671. That thing was awesome.
Any plans to visit Southern New York?
Not at this very moment. Like I said, this year is just going to be screwed. I can't make it everywhere all at once. So I don't know if we're going to make it to New York this year.
If you had the money, would you take Lenny to the UK?
No, I wouldn't. Because I would wreck him in 5 seconds there. By turning the wrong way, looking the wrong way. I can't
even cross the street.
I can't walk across the street in the UK, yet alone drive a vehicle there. When we were there, I did not get a rental car. I was like, I knew it. And we went, because we had been to the Caymans, and we had a car in the Caymans, and that was a horrible experience. You don't understand what driving on the side of the road that you're not used to driving on, how hard that is. And my brain is not set for that. So no, I would not bring Lenny to the UK. I'm sorry.
I would be nervous getting him there.
Yeah, well, he would have to go on a boat.
Which would make me nervous. Are you planning for any kind of storm shelter?
Oh, I'll have a pit.
We don't have one where we're at now, so, and tornadoes rip through there.
Yeah. I think the way the property is down there, we get into the lower elevation of the property between the hills and stuff like that. I don't think it'd be so bad.
How can I convince my wife to get a bus conversion?
Tell her how much fun it is. If you're not a member, or if you're a member of Patreon, you can go watch the Q&A with Kelly. She really talks a lot on that video about people were asking her questions about how to get her, how does she like the bus, how does she enjoy it, and all that kind of stuff. She goes through all that stuff, things that, Um, I think that might help sell her. But one thing people ask, like we get along really well, but if your marriage, like you're already arguing in your big house, and you try to live together on a tiny little bus, it's probably not going to go so well. But we've always worked together really closely. We had our own business, and her desk was across from mine, and we have always been 15, 20 feet apart from each other for the most part of 25 plus years. So living in a bus came really easy uh, for us, but that might not be the case. Like if my parents, if I think back to when they're long divorced, but if I think back when they were married, if they tried to live in a bus, they would have got divorced a lot sooner, I'm pretty sure.
Did Lenny have AC? Can you add one?
We've been married 27 years, almost 27 years. 25 acres. Oh, that's what somebody's asking. Yeah. Um, Lenny came with air conditioning, factory air conditioning from the factory. With that, it had a pony motor that powered it. It was by Carrier. Um, but yeah, he doesn't have that. But we have the 2 rooftop airs, and it works out pretty good. I'm glad that I don't have the factory air conditioning anymore, especially because I need that bay storage for something else. It takes up that whole extra bay, and I need that room for something other than that. The rooftop airs can go up top. They kind of kill that total vintage look. Like I'll never be able to use them for like movie work or anything. Which, speaking of movies, we watched a movie last night. The Jackie Robinson story,
42?
42, I think is the name of the movie. Yeah, 42 is the name of the movie. And tons of vintage buses in that movie. We had seen it a long time ago, but I never paid attention, or I clearly didn't remember that. But there's Silver Sides, there's a ton of vintage buses in that movie. And it's a great movie too.
How do you run appliances in the bus like the microwave?
I can run it off of the inverter or just fire the generator up and run it. But if we're just running the microwave for a few minutes, I'll run it off the inverter. The generator is the easiest way though.
Would you like to come back to the UK?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely go back to the UK.
Yep. So much we didn't see.
We have a friend from there. His mother lives outside of London, and he comes to the Indy 5. His name's Russell. He comes to the races every year with us, and he comes up to the Indy 500, lives at our house and all that. He lives in Florida, but his mom lives there, and we got a place to stay there if we want to go there. So we've talked about it. We just haven't had the time or the funds to do it again. But we used to travel quite a bit for work and stuff too, and that was definitely one of my favorite places that we've been to. There's a lot of things about living as a nomad that are very difficult. So even though we still had a house, only being there 5-6 weeks a year, 7 weeks a year, we're basically full time. I mean, it's just like full timers that take a vacation. It's not really a vacation. But yeah, there's a lot of challenges to it. It's not for everyone. Somebody, like even with insurance and stuff like that, it gets hard. So it's nice to actually have an address too. So, but about half the time, I think we're going to live here at the new property, and then be on the road the other half of the time. Somebody's asking if I got the generator running. I'll have to watch tonight's video, or rewatch this one. We've talked about it twice already. Yes, it's running. That was a short answer. Questions?
Are you going to get a road maintainer?
I don't know what that is, but we're going to need to do something. I mean, it looks pretty good. It holds up pretty well. We're going to end this in just a couple minutes, by the way. So let's say 5 minutes. We're going to finish up.
I think I'm caught up on the...
Okay. Maybe less than 5 minutes. We're going to end this. Sorry.
Yep, we're caught up on...
The convection oven microwave is 110. It's not 220. A grater, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the kind of thing that, man, I would love to have, but I don't necessarily need. But if I find an old Detroit diesel powered one, and the price is right, that would just be fun to have, fun to work on, fun to be able to use. I want to get some vintage vehicles like that, just to I don't know, to relive my 5-year-old self when I had my Tonka trucks, I guess. That's gonna be me, but full size.
Is there any plan for Indiana diesel bus coming up?
I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, Tyler's bus is coming. We just don't know when it's coming, or March. We're getting it in March. We've already, it's coming.
There's nothing else so far. So.
Okay. All right. Hey, we're gonna finish up for that. If you got a chance, hit that like button for the video. I appreciate that. For some reason, like likes and comments on videos, YouTube likes that, so that really helps us with pushing the algorithm and stuff like that. So if you like something, please take a second and hit that little like button, and make sure that you do subscribe. I'm not sure when the next live broadcast is going to be. We got a lot going on here, but maybe Monday. Well, I'll probably just do a video Monday that talks about the how things go with the electrical engineer out there. I don't think there's anything else going on with the property. We got a couple stakes we got to go put in. The next big thing is the big survey that's got to get done. So, hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You guys all have a good night.